Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with me, creating these beautiful pieces. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. If you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscription button. It does help to grow the channel. And by giving those thumbs up, it's very important to circulate the video worldwide so other people can have a chance also to recognize the video. And if you have a chance, share it on your Facebook public with your friends and family. It also helps to grow the channel. Below on the description box, I do have my Instagram link. You could always click there and follow me through Instagram also. Any questions, any suggestions, any opinions, you can write to me by messaging me on Instagram also, or comments through here as you wish. Now, we know that Christmas time is not too far off, and I've been having a very high demand on Christmas patterns. Didn't matter if it was plate mats, doilies, table runners. People want to start getting prepared and give them enough time to create pieces to give it as presents. So I've been trying to work on different patterns. I've already done a few doilies, and I do have a few on my playlist also on the doily section, or Christmas doilies, that I had created last year. And usually around this time, I try to create different ones again, so you can have more options. I did create a table runner. I'm sure you already saw the picture. First thing offhand on the video, of course. These are the threads that I will be using, and of course with some white pearls. I will be using, sometime I'll be using a 3 and a 4 hook, just because my threads, this is a little bit thinner than this 4. They're both 4, but this one's thicker. If you see the difference, I don't know if the camera really can pull it off or not, because sometimes this camera is just a little bit weird. Well, I think not just this camera, I think on any iPhone camera is a little bit weird, but maybe by putting it here on the dark, maybe you can see. This one's just a tiny bit thinner, so I'll be using the 3 for that, and for the thicker one I'll be using. I have the multicolored. This is also a thinner. These two are the thicker ones. Okay, you can very tell the difference, of course, of the cones and the textures. This is more shiny. This is more matte. So I'll be using these for the flowering, the leaves. I should say the leaves on it, the stems. This for the rose buds, and for the pattern. So let me show you what I got going here. So the best thing to do is, I will leave everything on the description box for the flowers and for the rose buds and things like that. The link that you can create these rose buds and leaves for it. Okay, so it's good if you want to get that done first, and then once you're done your pattern, all you have to do is just glue them in. Gorilla Glue is perfect for this. I use the hot gun glue with transparent glue. It's perfect for this too, so if you have one, it's just perfect. People like to also give it a few stitch here and there, not necessarily on the whole thing, just 2-3 stitch here, 2-3 stitch there, just to hold it together after you've glued it in. Okay, so these are my roses that I've created. As you can see, of course it's on the wrong side, but they're my cute little roses. And the concept that I did decide like this is like it's just growing, let's say. The flowers just coming out of the stem barely, then it starts growing more, and then bang, you have the roses. So this is the idea, the concept that I came with it this way. You know, my imagination is always full of ideas and creations. So what I did was I put it on both ends my flowers and rosebuds, and I still have glue sticking in my fingers. So I put 2 of them. I know the camera's a little bit too small for it, but anyway, smaller flower and a bigger flower. I was thinking about doing the 3D flower, you know, like coming out, but because I have so much of the 3D already, I didn't want any, you know, I didn't want to take away too much from the pattern, so I left it at that. The only thing that came out 3D was these ones, the rosebuds in the 3D. So basically I did it going this way on one corner and then the opposite corner. So it can really stand out on the table. It's just perfect for Christmas decoration on your dining room table, your kitchen table, or even wherever place you want to, in the hallway, in the counter. Okay, now this one, I did it with 1, 2, 3, and it goes up to 4 motifs. Okay, so I'll show you here. So I started with where am I at? Okay, so I have 4 motifs here, and then it goes down 3 and then 2, and then again 3 and then 4, and then 3 and then 2. So I've started with that, with 4 motifs. Actually, I started with 3 motifs, I should say, because the edges don't count. So I started with 3 motifs, and this is a fairly pretty big one. Now, of course, this is going to go into 2 videos because it won't be enough in 1 video. And you could even go wider if you like, if your dining room table is way wider. So this one has 40 centimeters wide, and I did not measure the length yet, but I will. And I'll leave everything down on the description box. The good thing about this pattern is you can go as wide as you want, and you can go as long as you want by adding more rows. And of course, the chain stitch at the beginning when we first start, then you can do it, you can go wider also. Okay, on this one I did a 70 chain stitch plus 3 for the double crochet to start our row, and I'll explain to you when I'm getting into the other one. The next one I'm going to do is going to be a size smaller than this. It's for a buffet, so this is for the dining room table. So it's going to be at 54 chain plus 3 for the double crochet. Okay, so if you're wanting to make this size, then you can go ahead with 70 chain stitch. Okay, so we're going to take it from there. I'll leave everything else, all the flowers, all the leaves and all that, I'll leave in the description box. And very simple. You just have to pay attention to the stitches not to get confused and lost somewhere. So instead of having, let's say, like 3, it's probably going to be 2 starting off, and then 3, and then 2, and then 3, and then 2, and then 3. Okay, so that's the only difference going to be on the pattern here. Let's get started, people. Thank you so much, everyone. Remembering that you can use also on the same colors for your flowers and for your leaves on the same size as you're using for the pattern. Okay, I've decided to go with the little bit thicker one because I wanted to pop more out of the pattern than the pattern itself. So the pattern is the 4 smaller, okay, which is this one here, and which is beige, okay, and the other one, the red and the green one, is thicker. I want my leaves and my stems and my flowers to really be the 3D, so that's why I use it. And in case you don't have thicker, use 2 together, you know, work with 2 threads or 2 yarns together, the same color, and just do it thicker. Very simple, not complicated. Okay, everyone, so we're going to start to do the centerpiece, which is the pattern itself. If the video is too fast for you, right up top on the hand right corner, there's 3 little buttons. Click there. It tells you to slow down the video. Also, for people that are not used to with the YouTube videos and prefer reading patterns, you can slow down the video and you can put the CC, the closed caption, on, and as I'm talking, it pops up the letters, and you can write the pattern out very easily by slowing down the video, taking notes, and then create it by there. Okay, so we're going to get started, everyone. So the first thing you want to do is slip stitch knot, and this does not count as a stitch. Now I'm going to do a smaller one than that, so I'm going to do 54 chains, and then come back to you after my 54 chain. Okay? Now, once you've done your 54 chain stitch, do 1, 2, 3 more. We're going to come back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your 6th space, and make sure that you grab both loops right in the center, okay, so it doesn't curve. And when you do your chain stitch, make sure it's not too tight, because then it tends to curve a lot of the pattern, and that's not good. So make it a little bit looser than your usual stitch. So now we're going to do double crochet. So coming back to the 6th space, okay, after you did your 3 more after the 54, come back to your 6th space, do double crochet. We're going to do double crochet per space, and you're supposed to have a total of 54. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So I did my 54. Now I've told you to come back 6 space. It's not 6 space, it's 5 space. Always look ahead of the video to make sure that there's no mistakes being done or mention the wrong stitch. So I was short 1, so I added 1 on the same space. Doesn't change anything in my book or yours, so don't stress over it. You don't have to take it down, you just have to add another one there. So you do your 54 plus your 6, come back 5 space and continue from there. So now we're going to turn around, and this is going to go like I mentioned, or I believe I mentioned, to video 2, because we won't have enough memory on this mobile. So chain 3 going up, double crochet in the next space, another double crochet in the next space. We're going to do 18 double crochets. I'll come back to you on that. I've done my 18 double crochets. I'm going to do 1 chain. If your stitch is extremely tight, then do 2. We're going to skip 1, 2. On the 3rd space, we're going to create double crochet. Now here we're going to create 14 double crochets, okay? Because we're starting to create the triangle middle design, which is that one there, the triangle. So we're starting to create it. Okay, so 14, this 14 is the center of the triangle. So let's say this is half of the triangle. So we start by the half, remembering that whatever you're doing now here, when you get to the end, you have to do the same thing. Okay, if you want to go bigger, that one is 70 chain stitch plus 3 more chain stitch and go back 5 space. Okay, if you want to go bigger, you just have to keep adding by 16 chains. Okay, so we're going to do the 14. I'll come back to you. I've done my 14 double crochet now. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing as I did here. So I'm going to do 1 chain, I'm going to skip 2 space, and I'm going into the 3rd space with double crochet. And I'm going to do 18 double crochets again all the way to the end. Remember that when you get to the end, because we have that chain 6 we did, we cannot forget to put it on here. So make sure that you do your 18 directly onto that last one. Okay, meet you at the end. So I'm on my 16th already. I'm going into my 17 and my last one right on the edge here of the chain. So there's my 18. So I started with 18, 1 chain, two space separation. On the 3rd space, 14 double crochets, 2 space again, 1 chain separation, and 18 double crochets. We're going to turn around and chain 2 for some, chain 3 for others. If your stitch is too tight, do 3. If you're too loose, do 2 only. Okay, so now we're going to do 16 double crochets. Okay, so like I mentioned, this is the middle of the pattern, okay, of the triangle. So now we are going to decrease, okay, so 16 double crochets. We've done on row 3 16 double crochets. We're going to do 1 chain separation. We're coming into the center of the square and create 2 double crochets. So basically these 2 double crochets is what's going to create the second triangle already up top. Okay, so 1 double crochet again. We're going to skip 1, 2 on the third space. We are going to have now 10 double crochets. Okay, and we're going to repeat this on here on the other one. So we're going to do 10, like, okay, let's say up to here, right? We're going to leave 2 out. We leave 2 at the beginning out. We're decreasing 2 at the beginning. We close it into the third space. So on the third space here, you should have 10. We're going to do 1 chain, come inside of the space here, like here, create 2 double crochets, skip 2 space on the third space. We're going to have 16 double crochets. Okay, so I'll meet you on my 10th one. So I'm on 9 and 10. So you see we have 2 left. 1 chain. I'm coming into the center and I'm repeating again the 2 double crochets. That's because we're creating the top part for the second triangle. So 1 chain again. We're going to skip 1, 2 on the third space, and we're going to have 16 double crochets again. So make sure you get your 16 all the way to the end, to the last one, and then go up chain 3. I'll meet you on chain 3. So I finished doing my 16 until my last one, chain 3, turn around. Now we're going to have 14 double crochets. So that means we're going to have 2 left out at the end over here. Okay, so there's going to be 2 left out. So do your 14 double crochets. So I've done my 14 double crochets. I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm going to come in the center here of the square and create 2 double crochets. So now we are increasing because we are building that second triangle. On top of the double crochet from the previous row, double crochet. So now we're going to have a total of 6 double crochets here. 2 more inside of the square here. So you're going to have a total of 6. 2 inside of the square, 2 on top of the double crochet from the previous row, and 2 more. 1 chain. Skip 2 space, go into the next space. So now we're going to have 10 double crochets again. 16, 14, yeah, 10 double crochets. Sorry, not 10 double crochets. I don't know where's my head. We're skipping 2 at the beginning and 2 at the end. So it's 2, 4, 6. You're going to have 6 double crochets, okay? So we're going to continue on, and 1 chain, coming back in and creating these 6 again. So 2 inside of the square, 2 double crochets, 1 per space on top of the double crochet from the previous row, and 2 more double crochets in the square. 1 chain. We're going to skip 1, 2 on the third space. Now we're going to have our 14 double crochets like we did at the beginning. So do your 14 until the last one and go up chain 3. So we finished creating the 14 double crochets, chain 3, turn around, and now we're going to have 12 double crochets. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, row 5, 12 double crochets. So we've done the 12 double crochets on row 5, 1 chain. We're coming into the square. We're increasing by 2 here and 2 there. So 2 on top of the double crochet from the previous row, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inside of the square. We're doing the 2 double crochets and 10. Okay, so we're going to have 10 double crochets, 1 chain space, and we're going to skip 2, and now we're going to have 2 double crochets. We're closing out the half of this triangle. 1 chain separation, and do again our increase of 10 double crochets here, exactly as we did here. So 2, and then fill in the spaces for the double crochets, and 2 more here. 1 chain separation, skip 2 space. We're going into the third one and doing our 10, or is it 12? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 double crochets at the end. As you can see, we're starting to get that square vibe. So we did the 2 inside, 1 chain, skip 2 space, and continue to create your 12 double crochets. And once you come to the end on your 12 one at the end, go up chain 3 so we can continue on row 6. So I went up chain 3, we're on row 6. We're going to have 10 double crochets now. We're decreasing on the edges and we're increasing in the middle. Okay, so 10 double crochets. We're going to have 2 space left, 1 chain, and we're going to come in and increase 2 double crochets in the square and continue on. So I finished creating my 10 double crochets. I did my 1 chain. I'm skipping the 2 space. I'm coming into the center here of this little square space, creating 2 double crochets and 1 per space. Coming to the end, I'm going to create 2 more inside of here. So now we're supposed to have a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. So that's going to be the half of the double crochets, half of the square. Okay, like we started here, it's half. So we're going to meet the half now with 14 double crochets. So now we've done the 14 double crochets. We need to seal off, close off this half one here. So we do 1 chain and we're coming automatically into the next square with 2 double crochet, and we're going to repeat the 14 double crochets again, exactly as we just finished doing on this one. Reminder that if you're doing the bigger piece, it doesn't change anything. It's still the same stitch, it's still the same count. So you would start off with 18, and then you start off 14, and then 2 chain, then 14, depending on the length you're going. So you're going to have 3 motifs instead of 2. Okay, and if you want to go shorter, well, then you take out 16, and you're going to start with 1 motif and not 2. Okay, so we're going to do the 14 exactly like here, and 2 inside here, don't forget, so that will total your 14. 1 chain separation, skip 2 space, coming into the third, and continue on. So I finished doing my 14 exactly like here, so I'm just repeating exactly what you do here, you do here. So now we're going to continue on to decrease. And we had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we're going to have 10 on here and go up chain 3, or chain 2 for some of you. So I went up chain 3, we're on row 7. So we're going to continue to decrease on the sides. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you know at the other edge you're going to have 8 the same way. So now remember, this is the half. So we're going to do chain 1. We're going to come inside of the space here. We're going to create 2 double crochets. So we're preparing for another triangle. Chain 1. We're going to skip 1, 2 on the third space. We're going to start to decrease so we can start having our triangle being formed. Okay, so we're going to skip 2 here at the beginning, and we're going to skip 2 at the end. So it's going to again, repeat the same thing as on here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we're going to have 10 double crochets, leaving 2 at the end and 2 at the beginning. So we have the 10 double crochets, 1 chain. Now exactly as we did here, we're going to do 2 double crochets here. So we're preparing for another triangle. 2 double crochets, 1 chain. We're going to skip 1, 2, and coming into the third one and creating our 10 double crochets again, exactly like we just did on this triangle. So basically this is what's going to close off the triangle. Okay, so then we're going to do 10. We're going to leave 2 out, 1 chain, and do the same thing here. Create 2 inside of here, 2 double crochet, 1 chain, skip 2 space, and continue on. Okay, so we pretty much repeated the same thing on here. 1 chain coming into the center of the square here. We need to do 2 double crochets, 1 chain, skip 2 space, and coming down to the edge here. So we're going to have 8 double crochets exactly like we did at the beginning. Make sure you get your last one in. Sometimes I forget, and I'm sure some of you will also. So chain 3 again, going up. Now I'm going into row 8. I still have all kinds of glue in my fingers from the flowers and the petals on the other pattern. Okay, so we're going to continue on. So 3, so 4, 5, and 6. So we're decreasing on the sides. Chain 1, we're coming in with 2. So we're creating another triangle inside of the double crochets with double crochets. So now we're going to have 6 double crochets. And 2 more inside of the space here. And 1 chain separation. Okay. And decrease on here. We're closing this triangle out. So 1 per space. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the other one. Good God. My hands are slippery. So we have 2, 4, 6, exactly like we started here. 1 chain coming in, doing the 2 double crochet. So we're going to have a total of 6 again because we are increasing, we're building another triangle. 2 inside of the space here. 1 chain, skip 2 space, come into the next one. And we're going to repeat the same thing here as we just did here. Okay, so you got to repeat the same thing. We're going to do the 6, the 1 chain, the 2 inside of the space, 2 double crochets over double crochet, 2 double crochets inside of the space, 1 chain separation always, skip the first 2 and do our 6 double crochets, and then chain 3 going up. So I did my 6, my chain 1, skip 2 space, did my 2, 2 on top of the double crochet, and 2 more on the space here. We'll total my 6, 1 chain, skip 1, 2, come into the third space again, and do my 6 double crochets, and then go up chain 2 or chain 3 for some of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, row 8. So we went up 3 chains. Now we're going to have 4 double crochet here and at the end also. Okay, so one chain coming into the space. We're doing our increase. So basically, people, I mean, if you look at the pattern, just show you. If you want to put markers on, you can. So if you look at the pattern, you're basically creating the triangle like here, right? Triangle and triangle. So now we have 2, now we're going to have 3. And then it's going to cut down to 2 and then again going to 3. Okay? So very simple. Nothing to it. So we're just going to do the increase. So we're decreasing. We're going to go on the next row. We'll have only 2 left at the edge. Okay? And that should be your 14 double crochets on your 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this row is going to have 10 on your on the triangles we're creating. The next row is 14, which is the half of the triangle, like here. Okay? So again, one chain, skip 2 space, and we're back closing this triangle. We started with 2, we finish it with 2. One chain, and we're doing the 10 double crochets, creating the other triangle. If you need markers, go ahead and mark it so you don't get lost on where you're at or what are you supposed to do. Or you can just slow down the video, rewind it, pause, take notes, and continue on. Okay, it's very simple. You just have to pay attention not to miss out on the stitch, because then you won't have the perfect triangle. So here's your other triangle. We're going to have 10, and here we're going to have 2 like here to close it off, and then 4 here at the edge, exactly as we started. So now you're just repeating it, exactly the same thing we just did here. You're going to repeat it here. Okay, so I'll meet you on chain 3. So you know you're going to do 1 chain, you're going to have 2 here, double crochets. You're going to do 1 chain, you're going to have 10 double crochets like here. You're going to do 1 chain separation, you're going to have 4 double crochets just like here. Okay, so I'll meet you on chain 3. Okay, so we finished doing row 9, going into row 10. I did my chain 3. And this time we're going to have only 2 double crochets on the ends, 1 chain, and we're going to do our 14 double crochets. That's the half of the triangle. After this row, we are starting to decrease again to close the triangle off. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we're going to do 14. That means we're going to do double crochet over double crochet and 2 more here and 1 chain, and then skip these 2 and go into the next one. So we did the 14 double crochet, 1 chain, and coming in and do 14 more double crochet. So pretty much we've closed in. This is to prepare for the next triangle. So do your 14 double crochet. That means 2 in here. So we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did here. We're going to do here. And then we're going to skip the 2 right here. So I'll meet you there. So did my 14, 1 chain, and again complete your 14 double crochets. Okay, so we're going to repeat here what we did here. We're going to skip the 2 and have 2 at the end, and then go up chain 3. Going into row 11, so I went up my chain 3. Now we're going to create the 4 double crochets, 2 inside of the space. So basically we're creating this here again, and we're going to continue to copy the same thing as we have on here. 1 chain we're going to skip, and on the 3rd space, because we are closing the triangle, so now we're going to have 10 double crochets. Okay, so I've done my 10 double crochets, 1 chain separation, skip the last 2. I'm coming in and start to create the triangle again. So that's 2. Each time we do the 2, we're creating another triangle. 1, 2, we're decreasing, closing these triangles out. So we're doing 10 double crochets again. So basically, what are we doing? We are repeating again the same thing as here. So we started with 2, and now we have 3. Okay, so just continue on again your 10, do your 2 inside of the space like here, your 10 double crochets again. We're going to do our 2 in here and create 4 exactly like we have here. So should be easy. So we're going to create our 10 double crochets, and I'll meet you after my 10. So I've created my 10 double crochets. I skipped the 2 space, 1 chain, 2 inside exactly like here, 1 chain, and skip 2 space and create your 10 double crochets again. And then at the end, we're going to do 1 chain and create our 4 and go up chain 3. Row 12, we're going to create 6 double crochet, 2 inside of the space, 1 chain, skip 2, and into the 3rd one. And we're going to have 6 double crochets. Okay, 1 chain, skip 2 space, we're going to have 4. We are starting to create the other triangle. And it's not 4, sorry, 6. Again, 1 chain, skip 2, and create your 6 double crochets. So it's going to be repeatedly the same way as we just finished doing. And create your 6 here on the next triangle that we are creating. Skip 2 space and then through the 3rd one and do your 6 double crochets. So if you notice, like I told you, we started with 2, we're closing 3, and we're starting with 2 again, exactly like the beginning. So all you have to do now is put a marker or a piece of thread, anything, and see if I can grab a little piece of thread there. So if you don't have a marker, so we are on here, the second row, so that means we are here. Okay, so that means you would come with your marker, little pin, whatever you'll use for your rows, and just like that, tie it in, and just repeat, and continue to repeat until the desired length you would like. There's no point in me keep repeating the same thing. All you have to do is just rewind, slow down the video, and take notes. If you put the closed caption, the CC on, which is right up top, it says CC, click on there, and all the written as I speak pops up. So I'm going to continue mine. I'll launch this one because it's probably, well, no, I'm going to finish mine and then we'll finish the end. Now, the desired length that you want, you must stop on the 14, like we started here at the beginning. 18, 14, and 18. Okay, so we can do one row of just exactly like we did at the beginning, all double crochets. You can always advance the video up and see where I'm at with this, and then just continue and proceed from there. You can go the size you'd like, and even if you want to create just one motive for a smaller section, you can do that too, by just creating the stitch. You cut down 16. Okay, so I'm going to continue mine, and once I'm done the desired length, I'll come back and show you how we're going to close the last 2 rows. Okay, I just wanted to recheck with you because when I made the knot, I believe I made the knot over here, and you're not supposed to make the knot here. We are building this section here, so we have to do the attachment on the one here. Okay, we are, so give me a second here. So we're in half. This is the half. Okay, so basically we've created the this is the twos, right? So we have to start by, we are increasing, right? We have to increase. So because we did only have here is the 18. So you know that you're going to go all the way to 18 on here when you're increasing. Okay, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then 14, and then 16, and then 18. So we can start all over again. Okay, so we're basically doing, closing in the 2, which is these 2 here. So that means we are here now. Okay, we are over here. The only difference is we are increasing here and decreasing. We had to start building by increasing here. Okay, I don't know if it sounds confusing, but anyway, just continue on doing your triangle like you did any other triangle. Okay, so you can look back here. If you see, we have 4, we have 4, we have 6, we have 6, we have 8, we have 8, we have 10, we have 10, we have 12, we have 12, and then we're going to have 14 and 14, and then 16, 16, and then 18. Okay, so you know you can't be mistaken on that, but I'll do one more row just to make sure. So I'll finish this one up. This one is the decreasing. Okay, so you're always taking away 2 at the beginning and 2 at the end. We have to start building the triangle again. So then skip. I know it might sound complicated, but it really isn't. You just have to follow the rows. You're always increasing and decreasing. And I made a knot on my thread. Okay. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Now we have 10. And 2 here. Because we are increasing the sides now, okay? So we can form that half triangle on the sides like at the beginning. So I probably made a mistake, I think, by telling you to put 2 and then skip and then so on. But I'll show you in a second just to make sure that it's clear. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So row 15, we have only one. Then we're going to create a triangle, like the half one here. So if this had the other half, it would have been only one triangle here. So we're doing only one, and then we're going to create 2, and then we're going to create 3, and then it goes back down again. So row 13, we're going to increase again here and decrease here, okay? Okay, so I believe this is row 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We have 6. We have 6. So that will be for your triangle. And we're closing in this square. If you notice, it becomes a big square. Okay. And also the same amount here. So we're going to continue to increase on here, decrease, increase, decrease, and increase. Okay. Okay, so row 18. So basically, this is where it all begins. I didn't explain myself. I thought I was confusing myself somewhere and confused you. Sorry about that. So row 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Row 18 is exactly the first row down here. So you have 18 double crochets, your 1 chain, 14, your 1 chain, and 18. Exactly how we started. Now, if you were to close off, then you would do exactly the same thing as we did on the beginning. That means you would stop here and you would do only double crochets, and that means you would have 54 double crochets, exactly like the beginning. But we'll get to that when we get to the end. Okay, because we started with 1 triangle, and this is the beginning or the half of the first triangle. So this is where you would close off. Okay, you have to do the same thing at the end like we did at the beginning. And pretty much you have 2 squares closed off over here. If you look at it carefully, it's almost like a 3D square, 2 squares. Okay, so now you can tie your thread, your yarn, to the second one, because now you would be following the second row. And then the third row. So you copy all the rows again. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much got my length that I wanted on the second one. So that means, let's say if you want to check it by the square here, I have, so we started with half. Okay, it's probably the best way to count rows. We started with half, so I have 1, 2, 3, and the other half. So that means I would be having like 4 triangles, okay? As far as, let's say, squares, so I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 15 rows of square. Okay. Anyway, I'll have the measurements at the end on the description box. So when you get to your 18, 14, because we have to stop at half exactly as we started in half. We started with 18, 14, and 18. So we got to stop at that. Now, we started with all double crochets. We're going to finish now with all double crochets. And this will be it after this for this tutorial. And because it's taking too much room already. And then we're going to start with the red and the green for the flowering. So 3 chain, very simple. You're supposed to have 54 double crochets. For a reason or another, you missed some 1 or 2 double crochet somewhere, because it can happen. Just add on in between the motifs here, so no stress. You don't need to take the whole thing down because you missed a double crochet or so. These are things that are added on, and this way there's no issues. Okay, so we're just gonna wrap this up, cut the thread, and then we're going into the green. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this and come back to you on part 2 video of this pattern. Okay, inside of here we are going to do 2 double crochet and then 1 per space. And let me just confirm here to make sure, because sometimes, you know, sometimes it yes, 2 double crochet. Okay, so finish yours and I'll finish mine. Please give a thumbs up on the video. It's very important. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I'll meet you in part 2 video of this pattern. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time. Bye-bye.